Hi, if you're new here, my name is Cade. I like to dissect random things that's happened in my life and try and pull some type of meaning from them. This episode is going to be on Yu-Gi-Oh! If you've ever watched an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you know that there is so much more to this perfect little anime than just silly little duel monsters. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that. Drop a like in this video too. So I want to talk about 3 things today that I pulled apart that I think are super important. So I watched the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime from like infancy all the way through high school. The first one is self-confidence, and that comes for me with Yami when he came into Yugi's life, when he first got the Millennium Puzzle and they fused together, right? And Yugi had a certain courage about him, but he wasn't particularly self-confident in himself. He wasn't sure of himself, and that's something that Yami brought. Yami didn't remember all the things that happened to him in his past life as a pharaoh, but he had that life experience, that life wisdom, that life confidence that you get when you just done a bunch of stuff and you know you've been through things. So he brought that with him, and little Yugi was able to see that firsthand and experience it even through Yami. This is so confusing. Yami, Yugi, he was able to experience life with Yami by his side, and having like a mentor with him really helped shape Yugi into the man he became throughout the show. And after they won Duelist Kingdom, when they defeated Pegasus, and that was largely due to Yami's dueling capabilities and his confidence, but there was many parts of that where Yugi had to shine through a little bit. And after Duelist Kingdom finished, when I think Rebecca was her name, when she challenged Yugi to a match to I don't even remember exactly what the reason was, but Yugi dueled her on his own, and he put aside his ego, and this is something he learned, that certain things are more important than winning and losing to him. And Yami was so proud of him for doing this when he basically folded the game, and he knew he could have won, but he let the girl win, and he gave her whatever it was that she was supposed to win. And that showed just the first step of Yugi on his journey to manhood. And at the end of the show, when Yami and Yugi end up dueling for Yami to go back into the spiritual realm, Yugi exhibits all the characteristics that Yami had when he first came in, that Yugi didn't have at all. And when they grew up together, basically, and Yami helped mold him into the man he became, Yugi was able to use those characteristics, he was able to use those skills, use that experience, use that wisdom, and defeat Yami at his own game, which was so epic. It was so epic. That final duel, it was one of the coolest moments in TV history for me. And I think the reason I attached myself and so many other people attached themselves to Yugi's journey is because it is so relatable. It is so relatable to be not sure of yourself and to watch a kid basically go and do all these crazy heroic things together with his mentor and come out on the other side even better, growing. Even if he lost, he was able to grow from that. The second one is denial and the lack of self-awareness that Seto Kaiba had in the show. And early on, when Yugi defeated him in a duel and did that whole just blah, and knocked out his ego, or whatever that was specifically, it destroyed his reality and set Seto Kaiba on a new life journey. The problem was Seto Kaiba could not get past the denial stage. And that denial that he had from when he grew up and his dad basically abandoned him and he was left alone to fend for him and his brother. And he learned the hard way that the only way to get anywhere in this world is to tear others down, basically. So what he learned, and he was not able to unlearn that. But throughout the show, you saw little signs of that. There would be certain things he would do or not do that showed that there was a piece of him, a small part deep inside that wanted to get better, that wanted to let people in, but he couldn't. Something was holding him back. Even his brother Mokuba knew that. But there were so many times where Kaiba he could not break through. He kind of tried, and you could tell there was an internal battle there, but ultimately for him, the denial won over almost every time. And that was tough to watch, and it was really frustrating to watch because I think me and a lot of other Yu-Gi-Oh fans wanted Seto Kaiba to be on this new path. They wanted Seto Kaiba to be part of Yugi's clan or whatever, but Kaiba, that he never did. He always did his own thing, and that's something to respect too in his own thing. But it kind of sucked to see him just deny personal growth, deny learning from experiences, deny letting people in. That was really tough to watch for me, but it's what made his character such a powerful and such a riveting, exciting character. The whole show was him just chasing the future version of himself that he wanted to be, and he was never able to just accept who he was and be thankful for what he had. He was always chasing that next thing, and that is so evident in our new world. The third one I want to talk about was loyalty, and how in this world, the experiences you can have and share with real friends and create real core memories. That was something that was so cool to see in Yu-Gi-Oh! With Joey and Taya and Tristan and all those people in their group, specifically with Yugi and Joey. They were best friends. You know, nothing could come between them. They tried. You know, when Merrick took over Joey's mind, and set them against each other on that epic duel, they never let that get in between them. Yugi he knew that in there was Joey, and he knew that if he could just talk to the part of Joey that valued their relationship and their friendship more than anything in this world, he knew that he had faith in that Joey wouldn't let him down, and in the end he didn't. And no matter what they had, when they dueled in Duelist Kingdom in the semifinals, Joey needed to win because he needed the prize money to save his sister's eyesight, and Yugi needed to win to get his grandpa's soul back. And so for each of them, it was an internal, personal battle for them. But it was cool to see that it both worked out for both of them. And it was amazing to see that even after they lost immediately, Joey was able to swallow his ego and be happy for his best friend that had just beaten him in a duel, and what he thought at the moment had just ended his opportunity to save his sister. And then Yugi, being the great friend he was, the loyal friend he was, gave him the money because he knew he needed it more than he did. And it was so cool to see, and it's so great to see that kind of friendship exists in the real world. And there's so many more things Yu-Gi-Oh! The show has taught me, and taught so many of you. Probably you watching this now are yelling at the screen because I missed something that they taught you, but if they did, you should make a video. For some reason, these shows are just a little more deep, and they're a little bit more relatable than the other shows. And you really get to dive deep into these characters and really dissect their personality and why they do things, and take parts of that show and apply it to your real life, and certain concepts that happen in the show you're able to compare to your real life, and you start to identify with those characters a little bit, and it makes you feel like you're right there with them, even if it's an anime, even if it's a completely fictional world. It's something that is beautiful. It's something that is beautiful, and it can't be replicated. Not every show can be as powerful as Yu-Gi-Oh! Or as powerful as Pokemon, or as powerful as Lost. Some shows just stick out. So anyways, that's all I have for you today. Please hit the subscribe button. Please like this video. I do so much more than just like take apart TV shows, sit down side, do a ton of different videos. So you don't want to miss any of those. Post notifications on, baby. I will see you in the next one. Deuces.